Welcome, everybody, to another Coach's Corner. This is a guest expert episode, and I'm really excited to welcome my friend Marcy to our wellness community for Back to School and Stress Less Month. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Gina. It's so exciting to be here with you today.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to visit the community and share with us how we can lessen the stress of back to school time because every year here it is again and it's always crazy busy. Tell us a little bit about you and your approach to parenting because I know you've got a little specific kind of certification. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Marcy Toll, and what I specialize in is the nurtured heart approach, which is a specific set of strategies for relationship building with our kids and really with anyone. Um, the thing about nurtured heart on the surface, it sounds soft, fluffy, positive, happy, but honestly, it's a terrible name because clarity is the bedrock of it. What are the boundaries? What's the structure? And then the really important piece in there is our energy and how do we respond actually when things are going wrong? How do we manage the energy of negativity? Positivity is an important piece, but the energetic aspect of where we're showing up and how we're giving our relationship and what we're giving our energy to is the key in nurtured heart approach. So that is the thing that's my jam that really I love talking with people about.
Yeah, and I feel like that energy piece is so hard because as mothers, as moms, as women in general, I feel like we play off of everybody else in the room sometimes with our energy.
Oh, for sure. And it takes a lot of training of our own, I'll just call it reset muscle, our own being able to pause, to take that pause is really powerful, and to notice what's the energy, what's escalating, how am I escalating, how am I going to get myself back in control so that I can help everyone else regulate in this situation, and how can I direct my energy for what I want more of. Our energy is like fertilizer. um,
Mhm.
Give it to, we're going to get more of, and it's so easy to give it to the big stuff that isn't going right. Well, how do we manage that? How do we take that pause and not energize that and find what it is that we want to energize?
Yeah, such a great approach, when it comes to parenting in general. So and dealing with other people, you're right, it's not just for parenting, it's for life, so that's great.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about schedules, and the pressure to overschedule, I feel like. Every year it comes up, all these activities and everything seems fun and exciting um, and it's all good. So how do you choose?
Yeah, so this is where that piece about clarity and boundaries, I think, can really come into play. And I think, um, do I want to say the number one thing? I don't know if it's number one. One of the most important things has got to be, what are your values? What is really important to you? But then go a little deeper, because on the surface of it, yeah, it's important to me to provide my kid opportunities. It's important to me to make sure they're well rounded. It's important to me to make sure that they're safe and supervised and so many things. Okay, so then the next things we have to consider is, how much time do I have? How much money do I have? How much energy do I have? So all of those questions have to come into play. And I think it's really important for parents to realize that your time, energy, and money are just as important to consider when deciding what to say yes to.
Mhm. Yeah, and the other piece of that, I feel like, yes, we're considering our own, time and energy and, expenses, but also the child's time and energy.
Yeah,
Energy in particular, are they extrovert? Are they more introverted? How much time do they really need to have alone time or recover time, especially after school with those after school activities? So many things feel like they're really important, but are they, you
super.
know, and at age appropriate too? Like all of that just feels really overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very, very important point that each child may be different as well. So we have to balance everyone's time and energy along with what are our values.
Mhm. Do you have, like, specific rules about we're only gonna do 1 activity, 2 activities? What is too much? What do you think?
Well, I think that's going to be really individual. I know that sometimes I've come across things like only one activity per child per quarter. Well, if you've got two kids, that might work out great. But if you've got five kids, one activity per child per quarter might be too much. And so then maybe you can look at where are possibly opportunities to consolidate. Maybe you can have one particular club has groups for multiple ages so that you can be one place one evening instead of another different places every day of the week. So no, I don't have any particular solid hard and fast rules about that because I think it really has to come down to all of those things that we've mentioned earlier. One example that I was thinking about in talking about this is a family that I worked with who had a really strong, one of their really strong values was their church life and their family and the extended family, aunts, uncles, grandparents, expected that they would take their kids to church, not just on the weekend, but also on a weekday evening for activities. Well, in that particular family, some of the kids needed more time at home, needed more downtime, more time for their homework. So it was that struggle and that balance between values versus what is really the needs for everyone. And so there's really no hard and fast rule about it.
How can parents tell if it's, that their kid actually needs more time, at home, needs more recovery time, just downtime versus they just are, for lack of a better term, being bratty about this after school activity that they said that they wanted to join. And now every time it comes time for this activity, they're throwing a fit. They don't want to get in the car. Is it that they're just at that age and stage, or is it really, oh, maybe we need to pull back here because they really do need some downtime?
That's a really good question. And I think parents need to first and foremost lean in and trust their instincts, but also to come at it um, with the overall idea or philosophy that your kid is not being a brat just because it's what they want to do. There probably is some sort of need. Is there something that's awkward, uncomfortable, not going well that they're afraid to tell you about? Are they overwhelmed with school? Do they just need more rest? Are they hungry? Are they tired? So many things that can be going on. And I think we need to trust our instincts and explore and maybe look a little deeper if the kid says they wanted to do that activity and then now they don't want to do it, and then you have to balance, well, okay, am I going to make you finish
Exactly.
because we paid for this and we're going to commit to
Yes.
not do it next time? It, there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yes, real world examples I am pulling out of the hat here.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
wanting to get that expertise from you and how you feel about that. But no, I think that's a good approach to lean into and really think about things holistically. not just, oh, well, why are they being a brat today and not wanting to go after we've already talked about this and we paid for it. And this is something that, you said you wanted to do. So,
Yeah, I find sometimes it can be a lot of anxiety,
mhm.
uh, a child might really want to do an activity, but then when it actually approaches, it's scarier than they thought it would be, or none of their friends are there, and these are all things that are good and can be good for the child to learn to push through. But the best way to push them through it isn't necessarily to shove them, but to show them where they have the strengths and the qualities to help them to actually do the big scary things. So
Ooh, I like that.
yeah, it can be really tricky depending on what it is, what is the reason that
Mhm.
having the struggle.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about free time and the importance of giving them that space where there is nothing on the calendar?
Yes. So in addition to some of the things that we've been hinting at with their rest, their time to decompress, de-stress, and how each child might need a different amount of that, it actually turns out that when we structure every moment for them, they don't have to face being uncomfortable. They don't have to face being bored. Boredom is actually a really good thing for kids. Um, Boredom is a time when they can think, be creative, um, figuring out how to fill their time. Even playing in the neighborhood, unstructured, unsupervised play. A lot of important developmental things happen during that time. Um, in case anyone in the audience is curious and wants more information around that, a book that I found really interesting was called Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but I've
Mm-mm.
been reading it for a long time because I was like, I know what that's going to be about. It's going to tell me that social media is bad, and I just, my kids shouldn't be spending so much time on their devices. Well, that's part of it, but a central theme really of the book turns out to be how unsupervised time is when kids develop critical thinking skills, social skills, problem solving skills, creativity. So we may feel pressured to have them in a bunch of activities and make sure they're supervised and safe. But a central argument of that book is that actually we've lost some important things in child development over the last 40 years, that we've been more um, having parents feel more pressured to have so many structured activities versus before that time when there was a lot more um, unsupervised free play, roaming the neighborhood with the neighbor kids. That
Mhm.
those experiences that don't cost us any time or money or anything else to provide our kids can actually be really good for them.
Yeah, that is such a great point. I'll have to check that book out.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
That boredom can actually be
Yeah.
good for them. And I think good for us too.
Mhm.
We're talking about our kids' schedules, but I think it's definitely relevant to us as well as we try to cram everything into our day and have a to-do list that's, 10 miles long.
Well, and there's the element of our own wellness in there too. Are we packing our schedules so full that we don't have time to actually stop and listen to our inner voice? Um,
Mhm.
and maybe we do it because we're uncomfortable and we don't want to hear what our inner voice has to say, but um, maybe that would be a good practice for us too.
Yeah, another topic for another time.
Yeah.
Well, as we're getting close to our time to end, is there anything that I haven't asked you yet that you feel like you want to talk about?
Mm. Oh, that right there is a really rich question. Um, I think what I want to say is, if some aspect of your relationship with your kid is being challenging, um, try to look at it from what they might need versus it's probably not about you. You know, we can feel as the adult like we're being disrespected. They're not
Mhm.
listening. They're rebellious. They're defiant. But maybe, just maybe, there's some really important information in there for us. And if we can come at it from the aspect of, you know, if a flower isn't blooming, you don't yell at the flower or try to change the flower, you change its environment. And so maybe there's some tweak. The flower is still good. Maybe there's some tweak to its nurture that we can make that might make a big difference.
I love that. Yes. Good advice. So where can people find more about you or Nurtured Heart approach to parenting?
Mhm. You can find my website, which is dragonfirecoaching.com. You can do a search for Nurtured Heart Approach and learn about it on the Nurtured Heart Institute website, or you can contact me, Marcy, at dragonfirecoaching.com, and I'd be happy to share more information.
Yes, and I will leave more information in the comments section wherever you're watching this. So, thank you so much, Marcy, for coming on today. You've been a wealth of knowledge and inspiration. I know to me and to other moms out there who and dads probably who are looking to have better relationships with their kids. So, thank you so much.
Thanks, Gina.
And everyone, have a great day, and we will see you next time on another Coach's Corner.